World Health Organization recently warned that the U.S. could become the new, as you said, Sarah, the new epicenter of the coronavirus. But you know who says he's ready for America to get back to work. And Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick agrees with him. Take a look.
If it were up to the doctors, they may say, let's keep it shut down. We can't do that with a country, especially the #1 economy anywhere in the world, by far. We have almost 160 million jobs in this country now, the most ever, by far. There'll be tremendous repercussions. There will be a tremendous death, probably more death from that than anything that we're talking about with respect to the virus.
No one reached out to me and said, as a senior citizen, are you willing to take a chance on your survival in exchange for keeping the America that all America loves for your children and grandchildren? And if that's the exchange, I'm all in.
This is crazy. I don't understand. So if we don't have all the information we need, we don't have all the tests we need, we're trying to get all that together, what good does it do to scare people who can't go back to work because there's no work open to go back to? Why would you hype that up? And we know that the U.S. unemployment rate could spike as high as 30%, but medical experts are adamant about staying home to stop the spread. So is there any version of this that makes sense to you all? Because it doesn't make sense to me to encourage people when we're telling them stay in to go out to work, to scare them and saying, you know, it could be really bad and shaking your finger. I don't know if that's a good idea. What do you think?
I don't think there's a scenario right now where people should be returning to work. We had a problem with messaging early on, and we saw that specifically Fox News had to dial back for a lot of their viewers what they thought, and then were corrected and had to redirect course. Messaging was a big problem, which is maybe why we are low on tests and we are low on supplies. We didn't take it seriously soon enough. Now we are taking it seriously, and it's important that that message stays consistent for right now. We know there are going to be economic pitfalls, but those can be dealt with after we make sure we're clear of this virus. So right now, the only thing we can do is social distance. Again, I know there are some things that are affecting politicians and governments. No government is designed to shut down. I get all of that. But if we don't stay true to this course right now, we're going to have a slow bleed that lasts and numbers that have not been seen globally yet.
I think what the Lieutenant Governor of Texas said was despicable and disgusting. What he said was that the lives of our seniors, at least my take, are expendable, that they're not worth it, that seniors would be willing to give up their lives so that their grandchildren could have a better economy. Well, guess what? My kids want their grandparents alive. My kids want that. And this is America. We can save our grandparents if we just stay at home. That is not too much to ask for. And every single health expert is advising this president to continue to tell people to stay at home. For him to just sort of, flout that advice tells me that there is something in it for him. And it tells me that there's something economic in it for him. When you look at Trump's personal businesses, you know that he is losing almost $500,000 a day because 6 out of his 7 hotels are losing money. They are shuttered every day. And that is why our founding fathers put the emoluments clause into the Constitution, because our president should be more concerned about the lives of Americans rather than lining his own pockets. Well, and I think that's what this is really about.
Governor Patrick needs to stay true to what we're hearing on the information and the facts, which is this is not just affecting senior people. This is anyone who has is immunocompromised. You've got people that are 12 that have immunity problems that could be affected by this. This isn't left up to one person, and by staying with what the scientists and doctors are saying, you'll realize that that wasn't fully informed.
Aren't there a lot of young people now that are in the hospital, ages 20 to 55?
Yes, there are a lot of... Yes, there are a lot of... Listen, here's the deal. This disease, this pandemic, is not stopping at people because they're a certain age. It's not stopping for your color. It's not stopping for your politics. as we saw with Rand Paul, who thought this, who I think continues to flout the fact that, you know, he is basically endangering people because he's spreading the virus. He says, well, I'm only talking to these people. Yes, but you don't know who those people are talking to, and then who those people are talking to after that. The idea is, if we don't do what we're being asked to do, it's not going to stop. And we don't know enough about it to know whether you get it and it's done or whether you can get it again.
Right.
So it seems to me, since there's so much we don't still know, we're watching what's happening in Italy, we're watching what's happening in China, and we know that people will survive this. But what we don't know is how many people are going to be infected if fools, like some of the folks in power, don't stop spreading stuff. You know, now oh, Sonny, you have to read this from, you know, Rand Paul,
Yes,
my bad.
we do have a legal note. Senator Rand Paul defended his decision to not self-quarantine while he awaited coronavirus test results, saying, quote, realized that if the rules on testing had been followed to a T, I would never have been tested and would still be walking around the halls of the Capitol. The current guidelines would not have called for me to get tested nor quarantine. It was my extra precaution out of concern for my damaged lung that led me to get tested. Okay.
That's
we'll be
not
right
the point.
Yeah.
That's not the point.